Okay, so hopefully this will be a quick video. I'm going to run through some things about Hyper-V, especially in the context of Home Assistant. I filmed this initially a few days ago, and then I started to have so many problems that I'm like, you know what, I probably can't endorse this, but I seem to have gotten it worked out. I've had 4 days of solid uptime at this point, and it's been flawless, but yeah, the setup process was a little tricky. So primarily I was using Hyper-V or Hypervisor, specifically I'm referring to a Windows host. So you have Windows installed on your machine and you want to run Home Assistant at the same time. I believe most people are probably using VirtualBox. So I'm going to run through why I switched from VirtualBox to Hyper-V in the first place and put myself through this nonsense. In general, VirtualBox is easier to set up, doesn't require Windows 10 or 11 Pro. Hypervisor definitely does. And you can pass USB dongles, like for instance a Zigbee dongle. So if you just have to use your Zigbee dongle, you're not going to switch over to a Power over Ethernet one, totally understand. Yeah, you're definitely not going to want to switch over to Hyper-V. To be clear also, you can't use both at the same time. You must choose. Because VirtualBox will not work with Hypervisor installed. So why do Hypervisor? Hypervisor is definitely faster. Oh my gosh, it is so much faster. Even when I was having my problems, I could see the problems so quickly. It was fantastic. Everything boots quicker. Getting access to, even with the exact same massive Home Assistant configuration I have, boots way quicker and able to get into the web interface way faster after a restart, for instance. It also restarts more gracefully towards the end with VirtualBox. If I hit the restart button on my Windows host, VirtualBox would not really understand what the heck's happening. So that was a small problem. Also, I stopped being able to use VirtualBox as a service. I'm sure there's some way to do it now, but the previous method I was using no longer worked. So that was a little tragic. The Hyper-V also allows for GPU acceleration, which is one of the big ones. Eventually I'm going to try to run an LLM on my machine, and I'm going to be doing it through a Linux virtual machine, and Hyper-V apparently is going to be the only way to go with that. So also there's Hypervisor tools. So I use a lot of VLANs. Now to be clear, you can do VLANs using VirtualBox, or rather you partially install Hypervisor, the Hyper-V tools, but not the Hypervisor, to be clear, and you can through the command line, rather PowerShell in Windows, you can do VLANs, and in fact I did that. It worked very well for a while. So what it would look like is, so here's my old settings here, and I would just use the virtual network adapter I'd set up in the Hypervisor and just set up a new virtual adapter for every single one. And it's kind of what you do in Hyper-V as well. It's just you get to use this nice little GUI over here instead. But it gets even easier than that, which I'll show you. So I'm again, to use the LLM and some other AI features, I'm going to use probably WSL2. And that requires Hypervisor, and so therefore you can't use VirtualBox. So that's why I switched. Not really worth it if you have a working solution, you need nothing else. Never break a working solution, especially if it's not your full-time job, and mine certainly isn't. So I also have a Truenas Scale box, and oh my gosh, life is so much easier with that. And I heard Proxmox is even better. But we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, my router is done through pfSense through Truenas Scale, and I just passed it the both Ethernet NICs, and it just works. And my goodness, it is so much better. But this is the compromise you make with a Windows host. So why am I even using Windows host? Well, that's a number of reasons. Actually, that number is one, and that is Blue Iris. So yes, I run Blue Iris, and I didn't want to run it within a virtual machine, which you could definitely do using, say, Truenas Scale. I just chose to do it this way. How to do this? So the first thing you want to do, so I'm not going to demonstrate this part because I no longer have my old Home Assistants running. but basically you perform full backup. So Home Assistant Backups is incredibly good. Oh my gosh, you should be using it if you're not already. And it also restores really great too. It's yeah, it's even better than an Apple product, I'll say, in terms of restoration. So after you do a full backup, and again, you're going to need to back it up outside of your Home Assistant virtual hard drive, so probably a network backup. Then you shut down VirtualBox, and that'll be that for VirtualBox for good. So say sayonara, because then you have to download. Well, eventually you'll be downloading Hypervisor. So before you do that, though, you should probably get a copy of Home Assistant that'll work with Hyper-V. So just navigate to this website and just download this file here. That'll be your virtual hard drive, so it's not going anywhere, so put it somewhere that it is not going to move ever. So probably not in your downloads folder of your web browser. Probably pick somewhere else. So then you're going to want to turn Windows features on and off. So sorry about the weird scrolling here. Turn. All right. And then you're going to want to do what I've done here and just click on Hyper-V and turn on all that stuff and get that installed. I forget if it requires a restart or not, but if it does, do that. And so again, we're done with VirtualBox at this point. So you're going to want to open Hyper-V Manager, and I'm going to walk you through the rest. All right, so this is Hyper-V Manager. As you can see, I've got a couple of virtual machines running and doing stuff right now, including my 4-day solid uptime Home Assistant instance. I've already set up a virtual switch, but you can do it yourself. It is super easy. So you can just do this. Do virtual switch and just make a new one here. And you're going to want to make it external. And you're going to want to select your Ethernet NIC. So you're going to want to click on New Virtual Machine and just click on through this like this. So we'll call this Home Assistant, and then you're going to want to pick a solid location. You can keep it on your C drive, whatever. You don't have to specify, but it's probably a good idea. This does not need to be in any way similar to where you put your virtual hard disk that you downloaded in the previous step. But I did it that way because it, of course, makes my life easier, especially 4 years from now when I have to fix all this stuff. Making it easier for future me is nice. Next thing you need to do, you must select Generation 2. Next thing, pick some memory. 4 gigs is theoretically good enough, but not good enough for me for no reason. And then select the new switch you just made. And then you're going to want to select the virtual hard disk you downloaded earlier. And then you're going to want to hit finish. So I've already made one, so I'm not going to do that. But do not run it yet. You got to make some other changes. All right, so you're going to want to go into settings here. And you're going to want to turn Secure Boot off. So I've already done that here. Make sure Secure Boot's off. And you're going to probably want to make some other changes too. So there's something called VMQ. If you don't know what it is, it's very possible that your Ethernet NIC doesn't know what it is either. So you make sure to click onto your network adapter, hardware acceleration, turn VMQ off. Now you might notice that I have 2 network adapters. Don't worry about it. I'll talk about it later. You don't need to do that unless you're weird like me. All right. So another thing you're going to probably do is this sets it up basically as a service that'll start with Windows. You want to click on Always Start if that's what you want. Sometimes the save option doesn't work so gracefully on Windows systems. The way Hyper-V works and works so quickly is that it has a very robust save state that it can reconstitute after starting and stopping. So if you wanted to shut down the guest operating system before, for instance, restarting Windows, that's fine. I haven't had issues with saving, but that might be a fix to booting problems and stuff like that if you have issues later. So you should be all good to go, and then you run it. And when you run, eventually it'll look something like this. So you can see I have, I have 2 IP addresses. Don't worry about it, but make sure to note one of the IP addresses. You can hit close window, by the way, and by the way, it's still running. And then you're going to want to log into your Home Assistant instance, and you're going to want to restore from backup. Once you restore from backup, you're going to want to log in with your previous account information, and your network settings are going to be DHCP by default. You're going to probably set that to something else, and your backup settings. Now, you're good to go. If you have one network interface card, which hopefully you do, because Home Assistant doesn't like to pick, then you're good to go. However, if you have, for instance, like me, either multiple NICs or multiple VLANs, then you're going to want to keep some other things in mind. I had some pretty severe issues because I had static IP on 2 different virtual network interfaces, each connected to a different VLAN, which had a different subnet. And so, if you, unfortunately, every time I started up Home Assistant, it would forget which interface was which and would just switch them at random. So basically, both NICs would be, virtual NICs would be on the wrong subnet and therefore not able to connect to anything. That was extremely painful to fix. The way I fixed it is I went into network settings, advanced settings, and I changed both virtual NICs to the same static MAC address. And since they're both on different subnets, this is hopefully okay, but if they ever get on the same subnet, it'll be a real big problem. Another thing, cool thing you can do here is actually under this setting, you can just set your VLAN immediately, like through here. So that saves a heck of a lot of time as well, if that's what you need. So I have a one VLAN on 20, that's for all my IoT devices, and then one on the default VLAN as well. And again, they both have the same static MAC address, and both Home Assistant NICs both NICs and Home Assistant are set to DHCP, and so I have to rely on my router to set it. But I realize, almost all of my IoT devices are DHCP as well. So honestly, if my DHCP server goes down, Home Assistant's almost useless anyway. So I just figured, why not? I'll just have the my router with pfSense do everything. But you can do this through every single over-the-counter router I've ever seen too, like the ones you buy from Best Buy for $50 or whatever. It's a little tedious, but that's how I managed to work around. So anyway, this has been why you should or should not switch over to HyperV. As far as what to do if you have multiple NICs on the same subnet, I have no idea what you're going to do about that. I don't know if you're going to have the same problem, but yes, may God have mercy upon your soul, and I'm out.